Alright, so the Game Awards were tonight, which is the replacement for last year's abomination that was the VGXs.
Which is a replacement for what did they used to be called?
The VGAs. Right. So it went from the Video Game Awards to the Video Game Expo to the Game Awards.
And this year, it's not backed by Spike TV, it's backed by Jeff Keighley himself. So,
which, when you see everything, all the people they got and everything that was showed off and they did at this show is, I mean, this kind of amazing.
Was the best year.
It was in like a theater where award shows are usually held.
Very organized. We'll give those thoughts at the end.
I like the Video Game Awards name better than VGXs. I don't know what X stands for.
Yeah.
Expo.
Oh, what starts with an E?
But X.
But, yeah, I mean, we'll run down all the cool things, some of the awards, some of the games that got announced, or games that got shown off for the first time, or, you know, new gameplay from the games. Just give our quick thoughts on them. And, so I think we missed the first, 2 minutes. So I don't know if they announced anything within that. I don't think so. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe the first thing they showed off was Metal Gear Online, which is the multiplayer component for Metal Gear Solid 5, The Phantom Pain, coming out next year.
They had, and I figured out what the guy's name was. They had Kiefer Sutherland. That's the guy's
from 24.
name. Yeah, the guy from 24. He also did Sergeant Roebuck from Call of Duty World at War. And so, and I think he voices, if I'm not mistaken, he voices either a main character. I think he might even voice Solid Snake. I could be wrong about that.
Yeah, because they said, introducing the voice of Snake in the body of Jack 24. I don't know what his name is. Let's call him 24.
But,
yeah. So it looked like this trailer kind of blended just a little bit of cinematic angles with actual gameplay itself.
Yeah, because it was... some things you could obviously tell weren't gameplay, but then other parts, could easily be taken for, ripped right out of gameplay, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
And I guess what they said was the Metal Gear Online is just this, I don't know how many players, but basically this tactical team stuff where it looked like one team's defending like a laptop and the other team's trying to take it, and you're just shooting it out and trying to survive and all kinds of other stuff, which is pretty cool.
Yeah. It looks very team-oriented. You know, I guess you can mark guys up for your teammates to see.
Have snipers.
You know, it looks like it requires a lot of coordination and teamwork, which I love multiplayer games like that. Those are, my favorite multiplayer games. And, you know, that just looked rad. And the coolest part was when Snake got in that, or I guess it's Big Boss.
Big Boss one, yeah. Big Boss, yeah.
I get those two so mixed up. I don't know.
It's okay.
That's why I am going to start playing the Metal Gear games soon, because this game looks rad. But when he got in that mech-like thing, like I said, I haven't played Metal Gear too much. I don't know what their name is, so don't murder me. And he just started fucking mowing these fuckers down. And there's the guys with the shields. He just boom and base kicks them, and
it's great.
Yeah, it was rad. What'd you think?
Yeah, like these guys said, it looks like, there's team stuff involved. And there was, a dog toy or something. It was like a dog.
Yeah, I think it was like a distraction.
But I didn't know what it was. It looked kind of like an element from another game where someone was, a bad guy was, staring at it and, hearts were coming out. It looked like something you'd see from, another, a Nintendo game or something that is, serious and war and eye-patchy.
I mean, Metal Gear's always had that, because, stealth in a Metal Gear game is you hide in a fucking cardboard box. And, and that's how you hide.
I never played any of these games, but, there's a lot of cinematic angles and stuff, but ultimately it looked like, another game where, you're in the army and you're shooting people.
I hope that,
thousands of games.
I hope it's the thing that they kind of had a little cinematic at the end where Big Boss takes a picture with the main guy. I hope that's somehow, add into the game where you could just snapshots of you with other people. That'd just be great.
Yeah, that would be cool.
Who's the guy with the eye patch again?
That's Big Boss.
Big Balls.
For a while, this was one of the cooler, if not the coolest things that they showed off, but we'll get to that later. So yeah, Metal Gear Online for Metal Gear Solid 5 just seems like it's going to be a very cool game.
Yeah,
So,
next year,
and
so.
I feel it'll be a game that really delivers. So then the first award they gave was Best Performance. I believe this is Best like voice acting, pretty much, and they gave it to Troy Parker, who voiced a fucking lot of characters in South Park: The Stick of Truth. So
he basically like half the characters he voiced. So
yeah, so there you go. The next game that they showed off was Tacoma from Fulbright Company, who made Gone Home.
it looks like some kind of space station. I mean, that's literally all they see. You end up in a space station. That's all they see.
It looks like something somewhat like Gone Home, where it's it's first person, you're exploring and all this stuff. They say it comes out 2016. That's cool. Supposedly Gone Home is still coming to all the new consoles too. So I mean, when that shows up, why not?
What was the name of this game again?
Tacoma.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not the one I'm thinking of. It's not the one I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
Later to talk about.
Next, they showed off
I know what
a gameplay demo of Bloodborne,
you're
which is the PlayStation 4 exclusive from Software. This looks rad, and there was like 3 people fighting this one, enemy, and which makes me think like, is it co-op? Is it not? I don't know. But also, this game looks much more fast-paced than Dark Souls, because this guy had like fucking flamethrowers and guns, and the combat just seems more fast-paced. It's a very bloody game, very violent game, but it looks like a game that still is going to kick your fucking ass. But it looks cool.
Yeah,
I'm intrigued.
It just looks like a bunch of fast-paced fun, and I mean, seeing like literally just a pool of blood underneath where you're fighting this thing is something it's weird. It's kind of over the top, but it's cool because I mean, no games really do that anymore.
Yeah,
it's everything. If there's blood, it's all super realistic, and so I just thought that was really cool. So
I was just thinking, like, watching this game, like, all I was thinking of, it's like a music video for like, if I can go back, a band I don't listen to too much anymore, Whitechapel, like the album This Is Exile, like it's a music video for like that kind of like music and album and like overall
future
aesthetic,
video from us,
whatever.
Whitechapel plus Bloodborne game.
But it's like there's this big dude in like a graveyard, and you didn't know what he was doing. It looks like he was like chopping up a body.
And it was cool,
and then after I don't know if they killed him or something, but then he like got bigger or something. He not an erection, but he evolved into Blastoise.
He did evolve.
It was cool in the beginning because the character's just walking around. He's just walking down this path trying to find this other character, and then this fucking thing just pops out. It's like boom and fucks him up. It's like
and you heard some of the audience just go like ah.
Yeah, it looks a little bit scarier, I guess, than Dark Souls. I'm intrigued. I think this game's gonna be cool.
It's gonna be fun. I don't deny that.
Yeah. Next, they played some music and showed. I guess they announced the Banner Saga 2. Never played Banner Saga. Never really heard of it, but
that's first I've heard of it.
Destiny won the best online experience and the best soundtrack. No surprise there.
Yeah, I could agree with both of those.
Yeah, I mean those are 2 of the stronger aspects of Destiny for sure.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Total Biscuit won Trending Gamer.
Surprising.
Beat out PewDiePie and a couple other people that I'm not sure.
This is gonna sound weird. I think that might be maybe because in terms of gamers, probably a lot of gamers might like Total Biscuit more, whereas I think in general there's just a lot of people who just think PewDiePie's funny.
And also, I'm not huge, I enjoy certain people. I'm not huge into watching people Let's Play. These people that didn't win, they're pretty much all Let's Players, whereas Total Biscuit, he's a critic. He borderline reviews games, but he doesn't actually review them. He just gives impressions on them and impressions on a lot of other things, and he really tells it how it is. And he's very intriguing to listen to, and he is one of the best speakers I think I've ever listened to in my life talk about games. He just presents his arguments so mind-blowingly good. Watch Total Biscuit. Congratulations to Total Biscuit. even though
He's
he
like
won't watch
the
it.
Stephen A. Smith of like
Pretty much.
white English guys.
Pretty much. So, yeah, that's cool. Next, they showed off a game called Adrift from 505 Games coming out December 2015 for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC. So, with this game, your space station was destroyed and you're stuck up in space. And what do you say, you have to escape or do you have to
You have to find your way
Yeah.
home, and you have the problem of you have to locate oxygen. And
yeah, and so the trailer, this guy was just floating through space, and he was floating very slow to get oxygen, and it looked graphically impressive, for sure.
Gravity, the game. Gravity, the
Pretty
movie,
much.
but the game. If you watch the movie, you're like,
Secretly,
this is Gravity.
Secretly, you're playing as Sandra Bullock.
I mean, seriously, I'm like the whole time, like, this is Gravity. But it's a cool game, don't get me wrong. It looks really cool, it looks interesting. You know, if George Clooney will be in the game, I don't know. He might. But, like, it looks like a cool game. Don't get me wrong, I'm just saying, like, that's Gravity.
Yeah, the thing I like about this game and a couple of the other ones they showed off were they're fresh.
Yeah.
They're brand new. There's no games out there that's like this.
Yeah, it's not like you're in the army, like, or as I call it, the land force, which is the proper name.
Yeah.
You're not in the land force. You're not like fighting, you know, like not Bloodborne. That is like unoriginal. It looks pretty cool, but like, you know, monsters and stuff like that. It's it's something else.
Yeah, it's just something new. So that's cool. Looking
What
forward
did you
to that.
think of that?
I mean, I might see myself playing it. I mean, it's one of those games where at least looking at it at this point, I'm not sure if it's my kind of game. I don't know. I'm usually not into, like, that's one of the things why I didn't play Gone Home, because I mean, Gone Home, you just kind of walk around and you find and then that's how you find out the story, and there's not really much that happens. And I didn't see. I mean, a lot of people were saying it's a really good game, so I want to check it out, but I mean, I don't see much of the point. But I mean, maybe I just have the wrong opinion.
Best mobile game went to Hearthstone.
Not surprised.
Not surprised, even though they call it mobile game, also handheld at the same time. So like Smash Brothers for 3DS and like Bravely Default. And is there another 3DS game that was up?
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
They didn't have Pokemon, which I was surprised.
I mean, that's kind of recent, but I still think they should.
It was only like a week or two after Smash Bros. Came out. So
And and besides, I think Smash Bros. Should have won that anyway.
Yeah, but oh well. Next was a trailer for the 3DS game codenamed Steam from the development team that made Fire Emblem, and so this is like a strategy game. They showed off the multiplayer components to it. And that is dropping March 13th of 2015. What's your guys' feelings on codename Steam?
I mean, it looks interesting. It just strategy games to me need to be. I don't know. They need to have that special something. That flair, like the kind of like Civrev had. Civrev had that kind of cartoony, semi-realistic yet in the same time kind of almost childish flair. Whereas this just seems, I don't know, it's just lacking something. I mean, it seems cool, but I mean, it's just lacking that one special thing to get me to play it, I think.
Yeah.
I thought, I mean, like, it's not like bad weird, but it's weird. It's like Abraham Lincoln, but like a robot or something. And well, I don't even know what Steam stands for.
I think it's set in like the steampunk like era.
Yeah. So. But I mean, I guess like surrounded by those other games, you're like, well, that game ain't shit, but it might be okay. It's just like in the environment of this whole show.
It looks like a game that you have to play.
Yeah.
And then you're just like, okay.
It looks like kind of cool. Like it, like not like it looked like paintball where there's some like blockade set up and you move like so many spaces per turn or something like that. Like it.
Yeah.
Looked neat.
Is it just me or is Codename Steam a bad name?
I think it is.
Yeah. Anyways, next game they showed off was Before, and this is from Face Punch Studios.
Great studio name.
Yeah, it is.
Fucking great name.
This game, the trailer was honestly, to me, graphically breathtaking, and the music was fucking awesome, and it looks like you might build up like a little village or something in your hunting and trying to survive. You hunt mammoths, and there's saber-toothed tigers, and there's all kinds of shit. And the world, seemed very varied, and it seems like a very intriguing game to me. And it was probably one of the cooler things that was showed off tonight. In my opinion.
I really like the art style. I mean, it kind of
Yeah.
has a slight like Wind Waker, Legend of Zelda Wind Waker-esque.
Yeah, I can see that.
Art style, and I mean, and it's just cool because it's your standard kind of like, I guess, survival strategy game, but like done slightly differently. With the whole now you're not building a village. You're just, and it's not like you build a village and you build up to get better technology and then you face new threats. It's this is ancient man, and you're staying there the whole time, which is interesting. So
Yeah, it's probably a game I'm really excited for. Like, I've always been interested in like prehistory and like dinosaurs and animals and stuff like that. Or just generally anything that's like not modern, sort of. It's like something that really interests me. And I thought it was really cool. Like, this guy came up and he's like, "Yeah, I live with my girlfriend's parents or whatever." And then I got this really cool idea. It's like Rocky, but with video games. Like, he's this small time guy that gets a shot to make a really cool game, and he comes up and he has this really cool idea. It's like, look at this caveman guy that's like pixelated, but like, let's make this 3D. That's kind of like the model of like a pixelated old timey video game icon, but like you're like, let's turn it into 3D, and that's kind of what the world is like. 3D pixelated stuff, like it keeps like an older style, but like made it 3D, and it looks really cool. Like Tyler said, like at one part it looked like you're in Africa, and then of course there's mammoths. You're in like a snowy, icy place, and
there's desert.
Yeah, like desert, grassland, stuff like that, and yeah, it really looks cool. Like, you have your own little settlement, kind of like, it's one of those like strategy games. It seems like a Civ Rev or like a Sims type game where I don't think you have like too much control. Like, you build your own stuff, but like, and it kind of has that open world sort of adventure type where you can go out and like discover stuff, but at the same time you want to like keep your people alive and build. And it looks like a really, really fun game like that. Kind of like Animal Crossing without as much customization. But it has other, incentives.
It's definitely a fresh setting for games.
Yeah.
Games haven't really been set in...
Yeah, there was that one game a little while ago. What was it called again? Wild, yeah. I'm thinking like, that looks a little like, bit prehistory, but I'm not sure. It's like, this is kind of like, not like factually correct, but it seems a little more like immersed in that. Yeah, set in reality a little more. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Cool
I was gonna say like something else, but yeah.
Yeah. Next up, they showed off, and some band played a song from Battlefield Hardline. They showed off like a trailer for it.
Battlefield Hardline.
They just set it up like we knew that it's gonna be like a cop TV show, and I mean, still nothing that excites me.
Yeah, that's the thing about this game.
I mean, who knows? I mean, if maybe there's something they're holding back, and they're like, and the game comes out and the game gets universal good acclaim, maybe I'll pick it up. But it's like, it's not impressing me right now. So I mean, I'm not excited for it.
I agree.
Hardline. Yeah. Battlefield. Hardline.
This episode on Hardline. I'm like, really? That's how you're opening it up?
Hardline.
Yeah.
Hardline.
Best sports/racing game went to Mario Kart 8.
No surprise.
Yeah.
Not at all.
NBA 2K is really good, but like, it's like the same every time, but Mario Kart is still pretty cool.
They combined sports and racing games this year, so they had, Mario Kart 8, NBA 2K15, FIFA 15, Forza Horizon 2, and I thought there was one more game.
Wasn't it? Oh, Trials Fusion.
Backyard baseball.
They need to bring that back, because that was fun.
They need to bring back NFL Street. Did you guys play this game?
Yeah, dude. They need to bring back RBI baseball, or a better version of it.
Yeah. And bring back hockey.
Good NHL game.
Yeah. Next up,
Lacrosse
Sony showed off some, trailers and gameplay for a couple other things. Yasiel Puig is going to be on the cover for MLB 15, the show.
Bat flips are going to be happening in that game.
Yeah. They showed off a gameplay trailer for the Order 1886, which was set in a much different place. than the other trailers.
They showed off, I think, the more action-adventure side of it. They had, it was Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris, which looks like Diablo with guns.
Yeah.
Basically, is what the impression I was getting from it.
Yeah. And graphically, the Order 1886 might be the best-looking game I've seen this generation so far.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
Even
graphically,
though
it looks amazing.
It was just like sort of cut scenes and stuff, but like in game, I like they shouldn't drop it too much from that. But yeah, it showed off kind of like a variety of the game. Like you're hijacking like a blimp, and then another trailer I saw, it's like you're getting attacked by a werewolf.
Yeah.
So it's like there's variety and
Yeah.
And there was some kind of like color and light in this one.
Yeah,
Everything else you've seen about this game has been dark and bleak.
yeah.
Gray and everything.
Variety.
Yeah, it's definitely an interesting game. They also showed off a gameplay trailer of Until Dawn, which is a survival horror PS4 exclusive.
That looked interesting.
Yeah, it looks interesting. It looks a little bit telltale-y, but more than that. Whereas, with pretty much every moment in the game, you have multiple choices to do something. Do I run or do I hide and try to stay quiet? Do I throw the vase or do I do something else? Stuff like that. I think it's
cool.
It seems very interesting, and it seems they say your consequences really matter, and it seems like they might actually matter.
I feel like it's a point of the game, but I know if I would be playing it, like, it's kind of like the purpose of the game, and it's supposed to get you, like, to get this reaction out of you, but I feel like every, 2 minutes, I'm just going to be like,
I made the wrong decision.
Yeah, I'm going to have to go back, and then I have to make a decision here, and I'm just like,
That's
I
how
have to make all these decisions in
Just
life.
say screw it.
Yeah.
You, especially after playing Telltale games, you just kind of have to
Yeah.
learn to live with your choices.
Yeah, exactly. How do you feel about Until Dawn?
I'm interested. I mean, I'm a big survival horror guy. Or, I mean, not as much anymore, but I was. But, that just interests me. Again, a survival horror game where your choice matters. That just clicks a lot. So
Yeah, it seems cool. Like he said, Lara Croft in the Temple of Osiris looks like Diablo with guns and Lara Croft. Seems cool, though.
boobs.
I think it's 4-player co-op stuff. So.
It looks like 4-player co-op. It better
Yeah,
be.
and that game's coming out really soon, so that's cool.
Like next week or so.
Yeah, and then they showed off a little trailer for Destiny, The Dark Below, first expansion for that. They showed off a really rad rocket launcher that I want.
Yeah, it's okay. You can get it. You don't have to get it. You don't have to get it.
I know.
So you can just get it, and it's like boom.
So
And you have PS4, so that means you have everything.
Yeah, and The Dark Below comes out next week.
Tuesday.
This Tuesday. Yeah. So that's cool. Best shooter went to Far Cry 4, which the other nominees were Call of Duty Advanced Warfare, Titanfall, Destiny, and Wolfenstein: The New Order.
I think, honestly, in my opinion, it could have went to any of the other games, and it would have been a much more fitting win.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong, I like Far Cry 4. It is an extremely fun game.
I just don't know.
Just as a shooter, when I think of shooting, those other games just feel better. Call of Duty feels better. So does Destiny, and Wolfenstein felt better. And Titanfall feels very, tight. It's cool. So yeah, I'm very mad on that. Not that it's a bad game, just
Like based on the shooter melon.
Yeah,
Shooter melon.
exactly.
The shooter element alone.
Exactly.
The shooter melon.
Next, they showed off a trailer for The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt and said that you're going to be playing as another character in the game besides Geralt. That's
Is
right.
his name Geralt?
His name's Geralt. And it's a female character. I think you can guess as much from the trailer.
Yep.
That's about all.
And there's some big motherfucker with a big sword and a deep voice.
Yeah. I want to know if anyone could leave a comment. Can anyone's voice actually get that deep if you actually watch it? Like, I know there's probably some computer stuff done to it, like editing it, but I just want to know if anyone's voice can actually get that deep. It has nothing to do with the video game or anything. It has nothing to do with this video. It's just asking.
Yeah. The Witcher 3 looks rad though.
Yeah. I want that game.
I did.
Kind of reminds me of those ring wraiths and stuff like that, and in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, I feel like Dragon Age Inquisition is going to satisfy my RPG itch until this game. You know what I mean?
Which
yeah,
have come for you.
Next off, they showed off another really rad trailer of No Man's Sky, which this time they showed off. You know, they started off. Yeah, all the different ways you can travel. So you were on. They started off by being on a planet and just kind of exploring, then getting in your ship, taking off out of that planet, finding another planet, and landing.
Coasting, I think they showed off warp drive, getting to planets, and they showed off like a Stargate. Is the only thing I can come up with of talking about. Yeah. I don't know what the fifth one was. I know they said 5 ways, but there's another 4 that I can think of.
Yeah, which. I mean, we're all really excited for that game. I think Sam's most excited out of all of us for it, though.
Yeah, it looks pretty cool. Like, I feel like they showed off the exact same thing in another trailer I saw. Like, a guy, you're walking, like, out of the water, or a girl. If you can pick which character you are, I don't even know. So I don't know a lot about the game. But, like, the other trailers, like, you're walking out of water, and you go and you get into your thing, and you see some, like, you know, Apatosaurus or something like that. And you get in your spaceship and you're like, and like you go into another planet and you're coming down through the atmosphere and land on there. It was basically the exact same thing, going from one planet to another planet in this trailer. Some different, like, life forms. Like, there was this flying sperm-looking thing, and there was, like, this one thing, I only saw, like, the back half of it, but it could have been, like, a rhino or something. And I feel like, I'm not going to quote them, but I feel like I heard the guy say, like, in a minute or two, you're going to get some of the, like, what was it, like, plot, some word like that, some of the lore from this game. Yeah, I still don't know, like, is it just exploring and stuff? Because that would be kind of cool, but, like, I know a lot of people would be, like, after, you know, like 10 planets, they would be like, oh, this is cool, you know.
But like, I'm done.
Can you, like, is there, like, a story, or can you, like, ride on the dinosaurs, or, like, can you go fishing, or is there any, like, customization, or what else is there?
Like, what are you doing in this game?
The setting is cool, but, like, you need some, you know.
Yeah. And the art
stuff between the bread.
The art design is incredible.
Yeah.
For this game too, so yeah. This game just pretty rad. Next up they showed off a trailer for Godzilla the game coming to PlayStation 3 and PlayStation 4.
Yeah. I'm excited.
Yeah. Should be interesting. Hopefully it, you know, doesn't suck. Hopefully, you know, you can do cool things as Godzilla.
Yeah, hopefully it's like Straw Monsters Melee, and I'll be happy.
Yeah,
I'll be really happy.
They didn't show off like too much of it. It was just like old Godzilla breathing some fire and stuff. And I mean, being like a, you know, I was like as a kid like a big fan of Godzilla. I'm not big, I'm not a fan, but I'm a big fan, you know, of this game. Some wordplay for you. Yeah. Hopefully, like it's some of the old like fighting other monsters and stuff, and but like in a lot of space.
Where's the Never mind. Keep going. My thoughts.
Next, they showed off a whole big spiel about Sierra Games.
Wasn't it like what was the award they got?
It was the Industry Icon Award.
Industry Icon Award.
Yeah, and then they showed off the new King's Quest that Sierra is making, which
looked cool.
Looks very cool.
Yeah,
I agree.
I never played King's Quest. Apparently, it's one of those.
Yeah.
Like, you need to play this if you're an RPG fan game.
Yeah.
And it's like, now they got it all rendered in 3D, and it looks interesting. I mean, it looks like a classic, and I mean classic RPG, which is something that, you know, haven't seen too much in the gaming world in a while, so.
Looks kind of like,
no, that was all I was saying.
But it looks kind of like Fantasy Life, but like all beefed up, and like, you know, it's kind of like, because there's like a dragon, you're running around in your bow, and you're like this kind of goofy looking character guy, but you're like Fantasy Life, but like on steroids or something.
Yeah.
Like on cigarettes or whatever.
On cigarettes.
This is definitely going to be a game I'll be watching for, because it looks fun as shit. Shovel Knight won the best indie game, which Shovel Knight's apparently a very good game.
It looks really cool.
What else was nominated? Monument Valley.
Ethan Carter.
The
Vanishing of Ethan Carter.
Carter.
I forget the other. Damn it! they're
Damn,
not coming
right,
to me.
yeah. God
But-
damn it.
Yeah, there was two other
Scrimmy
games.
Dingus and the Ribby
Yeah,
Flingus.
Rupee.
yeah. So yeah, it's cool. Then they showed off Human Element for the PS4, Xbox One, PC.
Fuck Robert Bolin.
Who's from Infinity Ward?
Who used to be from Infinity Ward.
Okay.
He used to be like, I think all the way up to even Modern Warfare 3, he was in Infinity Ward and then he left. So yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Which
it's that game.
what's this game about? I
It
don't
looks,
even know.
I mean, it showed some semi-funny / cool, like, first-person shooter-ish, and then somebody turned into a zombie and came after you, so I think it's like... I want to say that just off of that, it's almost like, I'm trying to think of the words I want to say. It's basically almost like a multiplayer game, where maybe if you don't, dispose of the body correctly, or however you want to word it, they'll come back as a zombie and you have to deal with it that way. That'd be interesting.
Maybe.
Or again, that's all they showed, so I have no clue what this game's about.
I've
so.
never heard of this game before. But,
Either.
it's
I think I heard about it
You know.
just before, like, the gaming awards or whatever. So
Yeah.
like that was the first time I heard about it recently, but then never before then. So
I mean, I'm intrigued.
I mean, if I decided to make a guess, he's riding a dirt bike and he's raiding someone else's camp because I guess you get supplies that way,
Yeah.
and then you kill guys and they turn into zombies or something. That's all I saw.
yeah.
Game of the Year. So, Game of the Year nominees were Dragon Age Inquisition, Middle-earth: Shadow of Mordor, Bayonetta 2, Hearthstone, and God damn it, Dark Souls 2.
Dark Souls.
And they gave Game of the Year to Dragon Age Inquisition, which is very fair to me.
Yeah,
That game's incredible.
Yeah, I think, even though I haven't played Dragon Age Inquisition yet, I could kind of agree. Just by looking at it, I can pretty much agree with that statement, so, yeah.
I haven't played yet either. It looks cool, but like,
Yeah.
I was just thinking like a lot of people didn't like it, but I was like thinking like, just because, I don't know, I guess I've been trained to think that way because they're always like the popular titles, but I'm like, I was kind of expecting the Call of Duty and Destiny and like all the really popular games, maybe like Far Cry 4 up there and stuff like that. There's like really popular games that are like, you do a lot and this and stuff, and they always get the best sales and stuff. But I mean, I guess these are quality games. I haven't played any of these games yet, but
The one game I feel was missing from their Game of the Year nominees is Smash Brothers on Wii U.
yeah.
You know?
Well, yeah, like Mario Kart or some kind of underdog title like that.
Yeah.
Really, really underdog title.
Yeah.
But like they never get the real credit in like Game of the Year stuff like that.
But, I mean, their nominees were good, so.
Yeah.
And the final thing that they showed off, which is my favorite thing that they showed off, was gameplay for The Legend of Zelda for Wii U. And holy shit.
It was glorious.
Like, they started off kind of on a hill, then they walked up that hill, and then my jaw just dropped.
And
It stayed dropped the entire fucking time.
Because they showed off the open expansiveness of the new Hyrule.
No, it wasn't that. It was just the hill. The hill looked great.
Yeah.
It wasn't the world. It was the hill.
In this, oh my god, the graphics in this game are, it's the art direction.
The art direction's amazing. The art
It's not
direction's
the power
always,
of the Wii U. It's
always
the art
been
direction.
amazing of Legend of Zelda. It's always had amazing
Yeah.
art direction.
It
So.
looks so good. And then they were showing off some like gamepad functionality where they were using the gyroscope and they were kind of looking at like, hey, we can go over here, and then they kind of marked it on their map on the Wii U gamepad, and then they're like, hey, let's go there, and then he like jumps off and he's got this like parachute thing, and then what else did they show off? They showed off riding Epona.
Riding the horse, in which he said like, yeah, you don't even have to. Yeah, I'm barely touching the gamepad. And he's like, yeah, you're not even touching the joystick. It's like, yes, and you won't run into a tree. It's programmed to go around trees. I'm like,
Horses don't run into trees in real life.
no, they don't. So,
Yeah.
which makes sense, I guess.
Which-
so.
That was cool. And then they showed off some combat where, Link can kind of like jump off his horse in midair and shoot his bow. And it was fucking cool.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Like, And then just a couple other things that they mentioned. They said The Legend of Zelda is coming out in 2015, and so that's cool. Then they said that
Star Fox is coming out before it in 2015.
And then they said Majora's Mask is coming out before Star Fox. So that's fucking cool. And they just kept the gameplay going in the background. And my God,
and just them running around on a horse and it's great. So.
I want this game, and just because it's Nintendo and they constantly deliver on good games, I know this game's going to be great. I can sit here and say this because it won't be like a Assassin's Creed Unity or a Destiny situation. Nintendo delivers.
Yeah.
What'd you think of Zelda?
Yeah, I'm probably gonna get a Wii U finally whenever this game comes out, because it's finally not like Mario Kart 8 wasn't good or Smash Bros isn't good, but those games you play with your friends and stuff, and finally a game that's it's just really just ultimately gonna sell me on it. Mario Kart 8 is really good, but finally a game that's just definitively gonna sell me on it. I was waiting for a Pokemon console game or something that you just know is always pretty solid. And I've never played The Legend of Zelda, any of the games. However weird that might be, because I guess everyone has.
You should.
But it looks cool, so I'm gonna play this one.
Well, here in probably about 6 months, you can get 3 Legend of Zelda games for the 3DS all in a row. You get Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, easily the 2 best ones that have ever been made, and then you can get A Link Between Worlds, which is probably one of the better ones that they've made recently.
So I'll get all of them. But yeah, I'll get a Wii U for this, and that's just kind of how good the game looks. And just because I have to be picky with stuff, they were riding along, or before when they were looking through a telescope or gyroscope or whatever it was, and they were looking with the gamepad. It looked kind of shaky. I'm not sure if it was the guy's hands or whatever, if it was kind of not being steady. It just kind of looked not completely still. I mean, little things like that I just noticed. It's not it bugs me, but just something I noticed.
They are still in development with the game.
Yeah.
So that could just be something that they're smoothing out now.
When they're riding around the horse, they said that you could shoot your arrow off the horse, and they were oh, well, it's easy to do that. And when they were riding around, it's I guess as easy as it can be, but it just kind of looked like the guy was trying to take a while to aim at someone. Something not like butter, a hot knife through butter, easy, if that's something that people say, I don't even know. But yeah, it looks it still looks like a good game, just little things I notice, it's not going to be perfectly perfect, but things I'll get used to, I guess. Little things I just notice, but it still looks really good enough to spend a lot of money on a Wii U. And I don't know what Star Fox is. And then Imagine Dragons came on.
I think they played a little bit of of some Zelda themes, and they played one of their songs, I guess.
I was expecting, not to sound like an idiot, I was expecting Radioactive, and I was getting all pumped up because Imagine Dragons is coming on. I'm all all right, Radioactive, I'm just and then I'm Radioactive, come on! I'm waiting for Radioactive. They come out with acoustic guitars and a violin. I'm how are you gonna play Radioactive on that? Break out an acoustic Radioactive or whatever, but they didn't play Radioactive. 0 out of 10 for this whole award show because they didn't play Radioactive, but they still played some cool songs. They're talented guys.
Yeah.
The other band for No Man's Sky that came on, 65 Days of Static.
Yeah.
Those guys are pretty freaking cool.
That was fun.
And then there was the other band that played the Battlefield Hardline theme.
And there was the other one that played just some video game themes and some the music was way better this year, and I think that just goes through the whole theme that this was way better this year.
And you don't get Tyler the Creator because you know he's gonna fuck.
Yeah, and Jeff Keighley really, I don't know.
Need to get Chris Hardwick to host it.
Yeah, they didn't have a host that seemed uninterested and just made shitty jokes the whole time, things weren't rushed, the gameplay trailers and demos were actually, decent lengths and they were solid and, they didn't really focus on the awards, but that's this show anymore. You kind of got to expect that, but I feel the awards they got right most of the time this year, and it was just a hell of a lot better. And I think that's just because Jeff Keighley isn't pressured by Spike to do this, and he did this all out of his own pocket. Maybe this is how he wanted it to be last year, or any of the previous years.
Yeah.
He just wasn't able to. And now that he did this all out of his own pocket, he could. So, I mean, that guy still has the most punchable face I've ever seen. But, you know, he did a hell of a job this year. So,
It was a good show.
it's cool.
Especially, definitely compared to last.
It's not an embarrassment for gaming like it was last year. So,
I got Conan O'Brien for a few things.
yeah.
But he wasn't like, you know, like dying of laughter. He was kind of like,
Yeah, there's like a couple
kinda
chuckles
funny,
here and
but,
there.
like, it wasn't, like hilarious. They got Ron Funches on there. He was kind of funny, but he just kind of screwed around a lot.
Yeah,
and
that's
some
okay.
other guy with him.
They were going to bring out Tyler, the Creator, and they sold to him. They're like, nah. I remember
And,
last year.
They had the 24, whatever his name is. They had 24 on there. Bunch of like game guys. Did anyone else really famous? I thought they did. Maybe not. Troy Baker was there because his voices and stuff. I like that a lot of the awards, like the bigger awards, they like went on stage and were like, "Yeah, you won this."
They did a lot of the smaller ones.
Yes,
like, on the side.
yeah, and I just kind of wanted to have like a host, you know, like what's his name, Jeff.
Yeah.
Keighley or whatever. Like, not like I hate him or whatever. It's just once you notice he says "oh" like every other word, you just want to die. You know? This
Stop saying.
and how he like treated some of the people talking, like the game developers and stuff, like, oh, they're from France or they're from Sweden. He's like, yeah, all right, yeah, and I'm like, don't be such a douche. Like, I know you want to get the thing rolling or whatever, but like,
Little Peter Dinklage.
Little Peter Dinklage. I was like,
Sounds the best.
did you seriously just when he
Yeah.
talk about Game of Thrones? I was like, you fucking kidding me?
like don't get Joel McHale because you know he's funny, he's kind of a jackass. Get someone like I said, like Chris Hardwick would be great, or someone like entertaining, and you know, get Reggie to host. You know, Reggie was awesome. That was like a highlight when Mario Kart 8 won like sports game of the year.
Reggie's ego is too big. He could not talk about anything other than Nintendo games.
That's the thing. He would just be like, I'm sorry, but do you really need to have Until Dawn? You know, we could easily just push Kirby and the Rainbow Curse.
Yeah.
We should put that there. Like, you know, we haven't talked about Pokken yet. Maybe we
He would
should
turn that whole thing into a big Nintendo Direct.
I like his confidence. Like he just wants to. Like he comes up and he delivers, and people like him. And
his whole piece this year was definitely way better than showing off Cranky Kong and Donkey Kong last year. That was kind of a joke. You know, that's cool, but like show him something cool.
When Nintendo fans come up to me, they always ask me, "What's going on with the next Zelda game?" He's got this smile on his face.
Yeah!
He's just got this smile on his face, and like,
and the room's fucking exploding.
he's like, people fucking love me right now.
And everybody was cheering Reggie's name, and he's just like, yeah, like come on, homie.
Reggie's like the most.
It was cool.
I think is he slowly becoming like the biggest guy in gaming right now?
I think he's been for a while since he said my body is ready.
I honestly don't really know anyone else's name. I just know Reggie, and that's like the only video game guy that I know. Like the develops, or he's the president or whatever. The like president and like Pokemon, like the director and everything of like Pokemon and stuff. Junichi Masada.
So I mean, the Game Awards 2014 was pretty solid this year. We feel. So let us know your thoughts on it. Let us know your thoughts on the awards and some of the games that were announced. And thanks for watching. It's a little bit longer than anticipated, but thanks for watching.
What game are you most excited for, real quick?
Zelda.
Either Zelda or Metal Gear. One of the
I'd
two.
say before then Zelda.
Yeah, I'd go Zelda before No Man's Sky. It's just me.
Okay. Bye.
Toodles.
Before.